Hi, this is Ron Karr, author of the CEO best-selling book, Lead, Sell, or Get Out of the Way. If you want to make money, you can only do so much through your own efforts, but you can make a lot more money through the efforts of others. Let me explain. The second trait of my 7 traits in Lead, Sell, or Get Out of the Way is the concept of building alliances. And there are 2 kinds of alliances: internal alliances and external alliances. Internal alliances are the people in your organization who you have to get behind you so that you can build your business. The external alliances are the people and the customer that you have to get enrolled to help support your cause, and also people outside of the business, meaning fellow colleagues or people in peripheral businesses who can refer you to others. But here's an example of how you build an internal alliance. A few years before I started my business in 1988 as a speaker and consultant, I was a key account manager for Simplex Time Recorder Company. In this division, we sold computerized timestamps. So when you had 1,000 traders working on different floors, each of these traders had a timestamp on their desk, and they were all synchronized to change at the same exact time, because if they were off by a second, their company could be sued by the SEC. So when I started working for Simplex, I was begging to get one of these key accounts. And finally, my wish came true. They just closed a big deal with Shearson Lehman American Express, and the account manager was promoted. So they gave me the account to service. And I remember my first visit to the account. They were located on the 105th floor of the Old World Trade Center. And I walked into John Delaney's office. He was the VP of Facilities. He was 6'5" and a former Army major. I went up to his assistant, David, and I said, "David, my name is Ron Karr, and I'm here to see John." David said, "Are you sure you want to go in there?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "We've had nothing but problems with your systems, and he's not in a good mood." I said, "No problem, I can handle it." Well, I walked into John's office, and before I could even get my hand out, he just looked at me and pointed and said, "Shut up!" Excuse me? He goes, "Shut up! I'm having nothing but problems, and I got the SEC all over my back. If you want to live, you'll fix those problems. Otherwise, this young man is going to take your butt and throw it outside this window. Do you have any questions?" Well, needless to say, I was a little horrified, and I walked out of the office. Not knowing what to do, I immediately went to my service manager, Carl. And he didn't even want to talk to me because he had enough of this account. You see, Carl already exchanged all 200 machines, and they were still breaking, and he couldn't figure it out. So I said, "Carl, help me out here," and he did not want to talk because, he was on a different P&L. His success was judged on a different set of parameters than mine were. But here I was a new kid with his new key account, and I had to solve this problem. I had to find some way to align my mission with Carl's. So I said, "Carl, I know you've tried everything, but the fact is they're still having problems. And at the end of the day, we lose this account. It's not good for you, and it's not good for me. So help me figure this out. Do we track serial numbers?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "So what could we do?" He goes, "Well, develop a log. Let's track the serial numbers of the machines that are breaking. Let's see if it's every machine that's breaking down." I said, "Great." So now I had to go and sell David on the task of keeping the log. Well, wouldn't you know it, 2 weeks later, we looked at the data, and it showed that there was only 20% of the machines failing. So I immediately walked into John's office and said, "John, don't bother getting up, but here's the deal. It's not 100%, it's 20%. Here's the data. But don't worry about it. We'll get it down even more. Have a great day." I walked out, and within 2 weeks, we got it down to 10%, which was acceptable standards. I went back to John, and I said, "Here's the deal. As long as you're dealing with mechanical equipment, 10% is a good failure rate. Not great, but it's okay. Why don't you buy 20 spare machines so if something fails, we can swap it out immediately, and you'll have the system working at all times." He bought those machines. But more importantly, he saw me as a trusted advisor. He started inviting me to all of his construction meetings. And when the time came to rebuild the trading floor, guess who was invited to bid and won the deal for the extra 1,000 stamps? I would never have gotten that order if I didn't initially build the alliances internally with my service manager, Carl, externally with David, and all the others who came to my aid to help us succeed with this key account. So my question to you is this: what are you doing to build both your internal and external alliances? Because remember this, you might be successful today, but if you want to really be wildly successful, You can only do it through the efforts of others. This is Ron Karr, author of the CEO best-selling book, Lead, Sell, or Get Out of the Way, wishing you a great day.